I remember sitting there just lost, crying, upset, not wanting to be here.
Sometimes we come from an industry that built us, and then we forget about the tools that we learned there.
I was 7 months pregnant in the psych ward. Hospitality literally burnt me out. Like, I was just worn out.
How you doing today? I want to welcome you to the Content Aesthetic Show, where we take different aesthetic professionals, different med spa owners, and allow them to share their stories to help you keep thriving in a major way. And on today's episode, we have Rosalyn Jefferson. How are you?
I'm doing really, really well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
You didn't have to show up.
I would not have missed this opportunity for the world.
I love it. So, Rosalyn, I want to know how you make a difference in your community with your business.
Well, a lot. I can just tell you some of the things that we've done on this year, everything from prom dress drives. I go into Baltimore City community, Baltimore City's summer school programs, and I teach the kids skincare. Prom dress drives, food giveaways, and we have done a literacy event all year where we've collected gently used and new books to help with the literacy inequities in Baltimore City.
I love that. What makes you say, I want to help the inner city kids?
My family. I've come from a family, all we do, and it's ingrained in you from the beginning, to give back. And I need to do it because my motto is to be the person you needed when you were going through. So it comes easy for me. Whether I was in the beauty industry or not, I'm going to give back.
I love that. And I do the same as well. I give back because I was one of those kids that I didn't get nothing unless it came from strangers.
Okay.
Right. And so they poured into me. And so I feel as if I'm paying it forward every day I serve.
Absolutely.
You know, that's big. I know for you, you worked at a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm laughing already. Yes, go ahead. I did.
And what things and principles did you learn from the hotel that you was able to put into your business?
Working at the hotel just further enhanced my spirit to serve. And yes, so my bachelor's degree and master's degree are both in hospitality management, hotel and restaurants. And that's what I thought I was going to do. But I feel like I needed to go through that to be a better business person. I had no idea that I would end up in the beauty industry, but your hospitality skills are absolutely transferable. And a lot of people are in the beauty business, but they lack people skills. They lack that, that sense of care, anticipating your client's needs. So hospitality, it has helped me tremendously. A lot of my clients really can feel that I care. I worked at Disney World, for crying out loud. They're going to ingrain hospitality in you. And I love that. I have that as my foundation for what I do now.
I love that. And the reason why is because sometimes we come from an industry that built us, and then we forget about the tools that we learned there. What was your mindset like when you was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to leave this and I'm about to start my own?
I didn't know. I had no idea. I knew that I was lost. So I'll tell you what happened. I was 7 months pregnant in the psych ward. Hospitality literally burnt me out. Like, I was just worn out from trying to be everything and do everything for everybody. Hospitality changed the very fiber of my being. I had locks. They were all the way down my back. I was told that I would not advance in the industry because of my dreadlocks, how they looked. Anytime somebody said they needed a hotel manager, I came out. I've had people look at me in my eyes and say, I'm sorry, I need a man. I have been belittled, but I learned that I allowed them to take my power. So I ended up in the psych ward because I attempted to take my life and my unborn daughter's life. And that was an opportunity. I remember sitting there just lost, crying, upset, not wanting to be here. And that was actually the third attempt to take my life. That's a long story. I had issues with, suicidal ideations and depression growing up as a kid. So that goes back to why I want to give back and why I want to do so much for the young ladies coming after me. But I did not know what I was going to do. I just know that I had to make a shift and I had to make a pivot. So after I had my daughter, I never returned from maternity leave. And it was my sister's idea. She's like, you always love skincare. Go ahead and give it a try. But I'm like, I can't. What would the people say? What would they say? And I'm like, what people? We all think about these people. What would they say? She's walking away from her 2 degrees, the industry that we know her to be in, to do something different. But that pivot was absolutely, I think, God ordained and necessary. So I enrolled in skin school, as we call it, aesthetics program. And I was the oldest one in my class. And it was hard with nursing a baby and having a 5-year-old at home. It was a challenge.
That's powerful.
Thank you.
What was it like in that moment when you had life in you? You had a child to take care of, but you didn't want to be here no more.
Rock bottom. Rock bottom is the absolute best way that I can describe it, because you really have to be at a tremendous low to not want to be here, but not even care for the life that you are carrying. And a lot of times I'm thankful that I went through that, but I say even now when things get hard, I'm like, my children are what I needed. They get on my nerves. They stress me out. I love them so much. But on one hand, I get stressed, but on the other hand, they are my motivation to keep going. So God said, you know what, you need to be here. So I'm gonna give you these 2 little seeds. I'm gonna plant these seeds in your life, and you're gonna nurture them, and that's gonna give you motivation to keep going.
So making it through that situation, because it's some people that had them thoughts and took action. How grateful are you for every day that you are still here to provide for your 2 beautiful kids?
You're not gonna make me cry. I am so incredibly grateful. It's an honor and a privilege to wake up every morning and take a single breath. I'm thankful for every moment I put my feet on the floor, and I think about them and I look at them and I say, what if I wasn't here? Who would take care of them? Of course, Dad, of course, my family, but it's like, you really are, you're the bridge for your children. It's my duty to, help them grow up and be amazing human beings. So I need them just as much as they need me.
What are your children's names?
Derek and Dallas. My daughter is 6. Her name is Dallas. And my son, he turns 11 in a couple of days. His name is Derek. And they keep me busy.
How is it important that they see their mother strong and powerful?
I think it's incredibly important. My mom, she was a single mom growing up, and she was so incredibly strong. So I want my children to see me as an example of being strong, but I also want them to see me vulnerable. I also want them to see, the good times, the bad times, the highs and the lows, because I don't want to paint the perfect picture that things are always going to be in tip-top shape and be perfect. So they need to see all facets so they can be real people.
I love that. And a lot of people don't know what burnout really does to the mind. How do you now deal with not burning out?
Walking away.
What that mean?
Taking a break. If I need to, because as an entrepreneur, you go, I got to get money. I got to get money. I got to get money. But you can't get the money if you're not alive. You can't get the money if you're in the hospital bed. So that means going to a retreat or coming to a conference, just taking a minute to step away, even if it's just to take a couple hours, block your calendar off to decompress. We are entrepreneurs that want to do it all and be all and do all these things for our business, but it's a learned behavior. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but now I know that I have to force myself to take time off before God makes me take time off and lay me down.
I love that. And so when you started your aesthetic business, how was that for you? Like actually finding a location, or how did you get started? Like, what was that like?
I actually did not want to be an entrepreneur. When I left the hotel, I was like, I don't want to be anybody's boss. I don't want to look at budgets. I don't want to order liquor. I don't want to hire. I don't want to fire. So I'm going to go be the best employee that I could be for somebody else. But, The pandemic came. I finished aesthetic school in 2019, started working at 2 spas, one full-time, one part-time, and I was loving life because there was no responsibility. Go be amazing for my clients and leave. But the pandemic happened, we got shut down. And then my clients that I had sliding in my DMs, calling, trying to find me. So I started working from home. We had an extra bedroom in our home and I turned that into a suite. And the overflow came. The overflow came and it was tremendous. And I said, you know what, there's too much foot traffic in and out of my house. And I want to be able to market myself better. And I can't market my home address. So I found my first commercial space and have been in it for almost 2 years now.
How was that? Like, how did you finance it? Did you, like, what was that part like, build out?
It was actually surprisingly very easy. The hardest part was picking the right location, knowing, the aesthetic that you wanted or the neighborhood that you wanted to be in so that when people see it, they're like, oh, she's in a nice place. She's in the nice place of Baltimore because Baltimore got a lot of bad spots. Yeah. But I had the money, I had the financing, I had the business credit. I wrote a check. It wasn't always like that. So when I say I wrote a check, I'm super grateful for the cushion that I had in the bank. I'm super grateful for the business credit. I'm super grateful just for the financial awareness that I had and I've been building. But I'm really happy that it wasn't difficult for me.
I love that. How was that first year for you?
Scary.
Why?
The unknowns. Oh my God. I had the cushion of working in my house. I was already paying a mortgage. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about if I get clients today or not. I'm still going to pay the mortgage. I'm still going to have food. I'm still going to have somewhere to sleep. But now I'm paying for this studio and it's more than my mortgage. It's more than my mortgage. It's scary. And I feel like the pressure is on because you can't let up.
Yeah.
You can't let up. But I'm doing my best to find balance. I've been really, really blessed to have some faithful and dedicated clients because they know I care, because of that hospitable environment that I promote. And I'm not going to say all months are good. We have some really, really amazing months. And then we have some months where there's areas of opportunity. But it's working out so far. And I know that it's going to continue to work out.
So what do you do in the months where business has slowed down?
I go outside.
I
go outside. I can host events. I'm going door to door. I am posting more. I am going live. I am following up. I follow up in the DMs. I follow up. I email. I pick up the phone and call. Hey, how are you? And it's not that I don't ever feel like I'm hounding my clients, but a lot of times when I pick up the phone or I slide in somebody's DM or I reach out via email, they're like, oh my God, I knew I need to make an appointment. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm glad that I was able to remind you and they start coming in.
I think that's big because a lot of aesthetic professionals wait for the client to come, but not realizing that they are so busy that you might have to get out. No, not might. You got to get out there and you got to go hunt.
Just like we are so busy and we forget to make a doctor's appointment. That's the same thing that our clients go through. It's not that they don't want to come see you. Yeah. You got to go.
Thinking about you.
You have to remind them, hey, it's time for your wax. It's time for your facial. It's time for your microneedling or your mold treatment. Yeah. You have to go find them.
I think that's a big thing. It's like the ones that I see win are the ones who go get it.
Gotta go get it.
Because it's out here.
I wasn't always like that, but now I'm like, baby, you gotta be hungry.
I tell people all the time, it's no such thing as bad leads. It's a bad you.
Yeah.
You're not following up. You're not nurturing. You're impatient. You might be in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you can't think about nothing. And so you have to always keep yourself out of that so you can think clearly. I don't care if they don't pick up the phone today, call them tomorrow. They don't pick up tomorrow, call them the next day. Keep following
Stay
up.
on it.
Because they either going to say, get me off your list, or they're going to say, thank you for this.
That's it.
But you only going to know if you stay going. And some of them people that going to convert, they're going to convert and do business with you for years.
For years. My clients that have been with me since the beginning, they are my babies. And they are the ones that send me more clients. They are the ones. They are my walking billboards, my walking testimonies. And I can count on them to bring more people to me.
I love it. So how are you with content and marketing?
Oh, I can absolutely be better. There's a big area of opportunity. I tell people all the time, people find me from TikTok. I think I may have 6 TikTok videos loaded on my page. So I know that I could do better. And in the beginning, when I didn't have as many clients as I do now, I was on camera more.
Yeah.
I was posting. I was out there.
Yeah.
But then when you get flooded with clients, then something takes a back seat. And for me, that was content. But my phone, there's over 30,000 videos and photos in there. But taking the time to actually craft and put them together and not worrying about it being perfect. Because people really want to see you. They want you to be authentic. But I could be better.
I say 30,000 videos, man. You created them pieces of content for your phone to watch.
They are living in my phone, and I'm gonna do better. I'm going to do better.
Yeah, I know it's a big thing because I know you hired help to, but it just language barrier, communication.
I love my virtual assistant, but it's like, as creative as I am and how I want things to look, one of the areas of opportunity for many entrepreneurs is being able to delegate and communicate what it is that you want. Because you can upload the pictures to your Dropbox or whatever and have them do it. And then when they send it back, you're like, no, that's not what I wanted. But you also never really gave clear instructions on what it is that you wanted. So you have to get clear with yourself and be able to effectively communicate so that your vision can be translated.
I think people don't realize that virtual assistants are doers and not thinkers.
They are task folks.
And so it's okay to have doers around you, but you can't expect them to be strategists.
You can't.
You can't expect them to increase the revenue. You have to do that, or you have to delegate to actually somebody who does that for a living and have the doer just do little things.
Yes.
So when it comes to content, I say, why would you go to a person that don't know what's going on? Like, well, I want them to edit my content, post my content. It's a system. They don't know. They just in there collecting the check and doing what you say, but you don't know. So it's the blind leading the blind.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah.
But that's dope.
But it's like, I think about it, I'm like, Rosalyn, when you were at the hotel and you needed one of your staff members or team members to do something, you gave it to the person who you knew could do it, or you nurtured them or trained them so that, when I'm not here, in my absence, I still want this to function. I still want this to go. But if you never nurture your virtual assistant, if you never, build them up or give them your operations manual or anything, how are they going to know? They're not going to know.
I love it.
They're not going to know.
They won't. They're not even going to think to know. They show up and they gone.
That's it.
So I want to know, if you could shine light on one of your superpowers, what would it be and why?
My connection to people. I'm really blessed to be able to walk into a room and find somebody to connect with. I thank God for my warm, bubbly personality. Sometimes the Baltimore in me could fall out and it could seem to be a little bit aggressive, but I love the fact that I have a great human connection.
I love that. That's big. And if you can share words of encouragement to another aesthetic professional to help them keep going, what would you say?
I would tell you to be ferociously tenacious. It's not going to always be easy. There are going to be times where you want to give up or quit. You're going to want to quit every day. But the tenacious person who keeps persevering is the one that's going to win. And I would also say that we all suffer from imposter syndrome, right? We are all credentialed, but we're not confident. And if you're going to answer your call, you have to be confident in doing so. And just know that respectfully, you are the sugar, honey, ice, and the tea. So be ferociously tenacious and kick imposter syndrome to the curb.
I love that. I want to let you know that I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
For not giving up on you.
I needed to hear that. Thank you.
Not giving up on your kids.
As I'm holding my tears back. Yes, thank you.
Because it's so easy to throw in the towel on life. So easy.
It's very easy.
It is hard to be the warrior for your family.
Yeah.
To say, I ain't gonna give up until the big guy actually called me home.
Until he says, my child, your time is done. Yes.
So it takes a lot. And so for Derek and Dallas, they need you because you are paving the way.
Yes.
You care.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And you are their support.
I am. Everybody calls my daughter the junior esthetician because she is walking right in my shoes. And I realized, no, you got to show her.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
And to say you didn't want to be nobody's boss, I think the real reason is because you're not a boss.
Mm-hmm.
You're a servant leader.
Yes.
And what you're doing in your business is leading.
Mm-hmm.
That is why the boss title wasn't for you.
It wasn't.
Because you're a leader.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Take that. Make a difference in your community.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many young boys, young girls in Baltimore, all around the world that need you. And I want to thank you for opening up and sharing your story.
Thank you.
Because some people wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because they might think about how people judge them. But I want you to know you just saved so many people's lives.
Thank you. That's the goal.
You just saved so many people's lives. But you did it because you saved yours.
Oh my God. Yeah. Thank you, God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for tuning in to the Content Aesthetic Show. And as entrepreneurs, burnout is real. But it is okay to take a break mentally sometimes, to get some clarity sometimes. Sometimes you might not want to be the one to do it, but some going to push you to take the break. Yeah. I don't know what it could be, but something is going to happen. And sometimes we look at depression as a bad thing. I actually look at depression as time to get clear. So I don't put a negative connotation on it. I say, oh, I've been moving so fast, I had to slow down to get clarity for my next moves. So don't give up on you. You have people thinking and praying for you to succeed. So go all in and remember, success is determined by you. Not by how much money you got, not by the materials you have, but by the things that you do that can change and impact the world, or just impact your community, or just impact the little ones, your kids, your husband, your spouse, your family. So don't give up on you, no matter what. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Content Aesthetic Show. I am Dontel Antonio, and you keep thriving and making a difference in your community.